All right, let's get into our line-by-line assessment of every player, including the subs that came on. And then we'll do our man of the match, and everybody else, you got to join us as well. So Matt Turner, we'll go with goalkeeper. Matt Turner comes in. People say, he's got terrible feet. The guy's a number 10 back there. He's Ederson back there. He's just no problem. Smoking a cigarette, playing out of every situation. And he's a tremendous shot stopper. And he intimidated the Moroccan attacker for hitting the crossbar on the penalty. Got the clean sheet, much deserved. Charlie, I'm going to come to you first since I know you have a very close relationship with Matt Turner, given your Revs relationship. Mm-hmm. How do you think he played? And do you feel like he has done enough, and we've seen him now in this game and shown us maybe some other facets of his game that continue to get better, i.e. playing out of the back, that make him the number one right now? And is Zach Steffen also fuming with Ricardo Pepi?
Yeah, Matt Turner showed that he's making progress with his feet, because at every opportunity he wanted to show he could play the short ball and he didn't have to launch it long. With the Revs, he'll play it long. And he's already had the interview over this week where he was saying, every time I go to the Revs, it feels like I have to restart because we don't play the same way I do with the national team. The focus isn't playing out of the back and me being able to get on the ball. It's putting, the attackers in the final third. So I'm forced to kind of kick the ball long. And I'm not training like that because our coach doesn't train the same way with our feet. So I think today was a statement that, hey, I can play at the back. I can be that guy. And the more I train, which is going to happen in Arsenal, the better position I am to lead this team. And I think that's the only question mark with Matt Turner, because he's improved in every other area of his game. And I think he's stronger at the moment in every other facet of his game was when it comes to Zach Steffen right now, because Zach Steffen's not in form and he's not playing consistently. So if Matt Turner goes over to England, now he's on the same level as Zach in training. That's all you need in Greg Berhalter's mind, because you're working on your game every single day. Now, will minutes and game minutes, match fitness be an issue to Greg Berhalter? No.
Of course. No, you don't think so?
I
guess it doesn't matter. All of our guys
keepers, I think
anyway.
not. Right. Okay. I think with keepers, no.
Yeah.
I mean, he said Greg Berhalter said he's going to play the hot hand come World Cup time. He's going to play the hot hand.
That's a very Casey
that's
Keller,
a relative.
Remember when Bruce had to do that with Casey Keller and Brad Friedel?
Well, that's what they were talking about, was that during that time, Greg Berhalter was talking about Friedel and Keller and Tim Howard to an extent coming up from behind. Miola before that. There was just this
shout out to Marcus Hanneman, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Hanneman as well. Yeah. I mean, there's always been a good crop of goalkeepers for the US, and playing the hot hand is relative, because you're also not saying they've got to be playing. The hot hand could be the best player that you have on the national team in a run of form. Matt Turner could go to spend the next 4 or 5 months not playing any matches, but could be the hot hand in the few matches that he gets with the national team. It's open for interpretation.
So,
but
yeah, go ahead. I was going to lead you into a little bit of a different, let's say, question. Same player, Matt Turner. But as a former defender, Heath, do you feel like, as much as we want our goalkeepers to be competent with their feet, as a center back, I really like a goalkeeper that's got good communication skills, a good shot stopper, good off of his line, confident off his line, and not just Manuel Neuer-esque where he's 30 yards and he's reading all through the through balls, not necessarily there, but also on crosses, on set pieces, somebody who's confident and owns the box. Not to say that Zach Steffen doesn't do that stuff, but I feel like Matt Turner might be, or feels like he might be, a little bit more consistent than Zach at some of these, and that might just be down to
it's a little recency bias on Zach Steffen in current state. Zach Steffen's traditionally been very confident in his movements, but he's now hit this dip where he's going in and out of injury. He's not playing games, and then we saw a couple games in a row, both in England as well as the national team, a lack of confidence in timing of when to come off his line, when to make those big plays. We saw it even a year ago in England, not the Premier League. I guess it was the FA Cup, but same sort of thing. That lack of experience of knowing time and place of when to make those types of plays, which I worry about, that becoming not habit, but his lack of ability to make new habits, because he's not getting the time to make those habits. But I'm okay with not having a great goalkeeper who's great with his feet, because we don't have center backs that are great with their feet now. Now, if we were talking about a different time where we need Matt Turner to be able to connect in the way that Zach Steffen can, a little clip ball after we're under pressure for a long time to slow it down to our center backs who are going to play through, great. But the way in which we play today, where we have three and Robinson pushes up and it allows our midfielders to come deeper and be a little bit more connected, that's fine, because those players, you only got to make one pass and then you can kind of play through that, or you can lump it up and we've got numbers around the ball. So I don't need I mean, we lived in a dreamland for a while where we were holding every player in the national team pool to a higher expectation, which we should. But if Matt Turner makes the plays that he needs to defensively, like you said, if he's confident coming off his line from wide areas, if he's confident supporting that back line on through balls and things like that, and just making those plays, I'm happy with it.
Same. All right, so let's move to the back line. Charlie, give me your thoughts on just the starting lineup. First, we had Reggie Cannon at right back. Thought he played really well. Just jump in here. Walker Zimmerman, solid as always. Aaron Long, I thought good recovery speed. I think that when he's isolated 1v1, I'm not nervous. I think that's a good sign of any good center back that has it. I got curious about your guys' thoughts on those two center backs and that pairing overall. And then Anthony Robinson, who had a tough matchup against Hakimi. But I thought overall he held himself pretty well. I thought Hakimi was a little bit off the pace for whatever reason today, trying to do too much. He almost seemed like Hakimi that it was almost too good for that game. Like he can't be bothered to play in this meaningless friendly in Cincinnati against the US.
Kind of vacation game.
They just got in 2 days ago, by the way. It wasn't like they.
Yeah, and I think that showed. And I guess that should be taken into consideration as well. And I'm curious. We'll get into some early thoughts about the Uruguay game because we'll have a special preview for it on Friday. But Cannon, Zimmerman, Aaron Long, and then Robinson halftime. Cameron Carter-Vickers came in for Zimmerman, and Joe Scally comes back in. Now Carter-Vickers hadn't been with the team or hadn't played for the U.S. in 3 years, almost 3 years to the day. Joe Scally makes his international debut, and they're like, hey, we're going to put you on the left side against Hakimi. Good luck with that. But those were the 6 defenders that played throughout the game. Give me your thoughts on the starting lineup. Did you like Greg's choices and the subs that came in as well?
Yeah, I mean, I do like Greg's choices. I thought Reggie Cannon was – we know what we're going to get from Reggie Cannon. Pretty consistent defensively, attacking still left to be desired in the attacking third. Zimmerman, the long ball, to Christian Pulisic on the first goal, fantastic. He was the best defender tonight in the back line. I thought Aaron Long was good. I wouldn't say great. I wouldn't say, has cemented himself as the partner, but I thought he was good.
Let me cut in there. Aaron Long got handed the captain's armband when Christian Pulisic went off. Just throwing that out there as clearly as we discussed before that Greg really loves Aaron Long, and I think that showed again tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't put too much stock in that in terms of like you're going to be the guy. And then
Tyler Adams is on the field. Weston McKennie was on the field. They couldn't.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Went to Aaron Long. Keep going.
And Anthony Robinson, I think he was solid. But nothing to I wouldn't say he was at 8, 9, or 10 or anything like that, but he was solid. So, like you said, Morocco was kind of in neutral for large portions of the game, and I thought they did try to do a little bit more in the second half. And Hakimi is one who I think he got better as the time went on, and Joe Scally unfortunately had to deal with that. And if it there were times where I thought Joe Scally was out of position. I thought Cameron Carter-Vickers on the one cross lost his man, and we're talking about that's your one job, right. You had been guilty of that at times before in his career of not tracking forwards and being in the right position. So I thought, as solid as his touches may have been after that, that's the one glaring mistake for me.
Okay, Heath, what are your thoughts on any of the defenders, all of the defenders? I thought Aaron Long, just to jump in on him, did have some heroic defending. He covered for Anthony Robinson a few times. Again, I do like his recovery speed, and if his anticipation skills are good, then I don't see anybody really outrunning him per se. But is he back in the conversation? I mean, is he now the replacement for Miles Robinson?
He is, but I do feel like I agree with Charlie that Aaron Long was good, but he wasn't great. He didn't look super comfortable for some periods. But I also agree with you, Jimmy, that his recovery speed allows him to get away with a lot. He's got pace to him that allows him to sort of clean up some of the messes that he's working through right now of getting back to the level that he was. He doesn't seem like he's back at that level. I think Cannon was good. I think he did the job that was asked of him, which was a little bit weird because they were doing a sort of hybrid 3-5-2 in the buildup where he sort of sat back far deeper, was much more connected defensively as well than Robinson was, who had a little bit more of a free reign in a lot of ways. I thought Robinson was solid, but again, not super great, but helps the team sort of stretch that allowed Pulisic to drop underneath and get the ball in decent spots facing the field, which normally I would have been pissed off about because I don't want Pulisic getting the ball that far back. But today, because there was this movement a little more connected, I didn't mind it. And then I thought Zimmerman was was just solid again. Just another solid performance from him. Very good. That through ball that shows his range of passing. I don't think he's a great passer, but again, when you're going to stretch, when you've got to be able to take what the game gives you, and that's to lump that ball in behind, to put that into a challenge where Christian Pulisic can bring it down and set up that goal, I thought was fantastic. So overall, solid from everybody. And then obviously with the subs, Joe Scally, I was kind of like indifferent on his performance so far, which I think is a good thing. Like he didn't fail the national team test, but again, wasn't something.
Didn't pass. Didn't fail. Didn't pass.
Yeah, didn't fail. Didn't pass. Like I need to see it again. Type of thing. I need to see him in another match. But he did get a decent run of time. It was a little bit like he's athletic. You can see he's got some pace, but yeah, overall that was solid. Cameron Carter-Vickers, same thing. Did the job that he needed to do, but I kind of see his movements a little bit off the international pace at times. When I was just kind of watching him off the ball. But he made all the plays that he needed to make, other than, missed a header that should have fallen down, didn't track his runner on one that they could have finished. A couple of those types of things where I was a little bit nervous, but overall, again, another didn't pass, didn't fail type of performance from him.
All right, I'll jump in and say Reggie Cannon, what I love the most about him was his energy. He just felt like he was ready to do what was asked of him and then some. He was his ability and his desire to want to close the ball down, I thought was excellent. And that's contagious. When you see a player or two that they're going to go get it, they're going to make it difficult for the opponent. It's really easy to buy in and make sure you follow, make sure your spacing's right there. I love that about him. Zimmerman, solid. What I like about that pass that he made as well was the recognition of the pass. That this is what they are giving us. Let's give it a shot. Pulisic makes a good run. He ends up having a great first touch, and Walker saw it and made the pass. Aaron Long, I thought that he had a good, solid performance. I saw some things that I liked. When you're doing reactive defending, he's very good at that, but I hope that with his partnership with Zimmerman, I'd love to hear from Tyler and Walker about how it was to play with Aaron. Anthony Robinson, one of my favorite things about Anthony, and this is his biggest strength for sure, is his desire to get forward. When that guy runs with purpose, it is so hard for other teams to defend. Hakimi got caught out one time, and I think Christian played him a ball into space, and he's just gone. And now he's one-on-one with a center back, which is, if the more we can have that happen, the better off we're going to be. I just wish he'd get more crosses off per half. I think that would be my bigger ask of him, either whether they're deep or whether it gets to the end line. Can we know that we're going to get 3 to 5 crosses from you every single half? I think would be a goal to set out for. Scally, I agree with your guys' sentiments there. Carter-Vickers, I think, looked pretty solid. Obviously, he's probably nervous. Both those guys are. They're trying to win a spot to get on the roster in a short period of time in 45 minutes. But I thought overall they were pretty good.